Hi, I'm Lyssy Noel, and you probably know me on YouTube. Anyways, today I thought I'd do a Draw My Life video so that you guys get to know me a little more and how I've become who I am now. So, I'm not the best drawer, but let's get to this. So, I was born in California in the year of 1998 in Southern California, and I was a little Lyssy back then, and I was born on December 10th. One thing most people on YouTube don't know about me is my real name is actually Alyssa, but my nickname is Lyssy. I was actually named after a flower called an alyssum, which kind of gave my mom the idea to call me Alyssa. She thought that flower was really pretty. So, I lived with my mom, and my dad actually left us and I never knew him. But that was okay because my mom loved me very much and I loved her very much as well. Eventually, my mom really wanted to have an actual family with me having a father, and she didn't want to be alone anymore. And it made me sad seeing that. Eventually, by the time I was 5, my mom found that special someone, and they got married and we finally had a family. I was so happy to finally have an actual family. And then one day, they told me the biggest news I've ever heard. You're going to have a sister. I was so happy I was going to have a friend to play with. I was like ecstatic. Eventually, it became the day where my sister was brought home, and I didn't really realize how much babies actually cried, and then I realized I was going to be not the only child anymore. I became irritated very quickly, and I did not like crying babies. I started to get really sad and upset because my parents had to put all their attention into the new baby, Krista, but that was okay because eventually I found a new hobby which occupied me and made me super happy, which was drawing. I loved to draw everything, but especially my pets. I loved my dog. I actually started to love my dog and hang out with my dog so much that I actually thought I was a dog, and it confused my dog. A little bit after my 6th birthday, my parents came out with big news to me, and they told me that we're moving, and I was like shocked. I was like, what, we're moving? Really? I was really sad because I had to leave sunny SoCal, and I loved the palm trees, I loved going to Disneyland, and I especially loved the beach, and just everything about where I lived was a really big part of my life, and I didn't know I was gonna have to leave it. But I did what I did, and I made my family happy, and I agreed to move. I had to say goodbye to my sunny SoCal Golden State, and I knew I'd miss my friends and family, but I had a new adventure awaiting for me. So we moved from sunny SoCal all the way to Minnesota, and yes, we drove it. Once we arrived, there was something that I noticed that I had never noticed in California before. There was literally nature everywhere. I have never seen a frog, or so many bees or butterflies. I was totally overwhelmed by all the animals there. I even saw farms that had horses, and I was like so happy that there was actual horses out like everywhere there. Even when I first got there, I was outside playing with the frogs, and 2 boys ended up noticing me. They were all like, hey look, it's a girl! And I was all like, whoa, it's a frog! They ended up thinking I was really cool because I liked to play with the frogs, and of course we became best friends. And they were literally my childhood friends for the longest time, and we hung out together like every day. We played all sorts of games together, like sports and Foursquare and tag and wrestling, and we hung out together. And we of course loved animals, which was a good common interest. I was so happy to actually have real friends. Then one day my mom told me to wake up, and I was just laying in bed, and I was all like, why do I have to wake up? Like, you have school, said my mom. So I realized school finally hit me, and it was the first day of 1st grade, and I was just crying. I didn't want to go to school at all, but that didn't matter, and my mom dropped me off and left me at the school, and I was like doomed. Like, I didn't know what school was like. So it was the first day of 1st grade, and I knew nobody in my grade except for my 2 little boyfriends that I made that lived on my street, except for the girls couldn't hang with the boys because apparently the boys had cooties. And so I tried to make friends with some girls, and every time I'd be like, hi, I'm Alyssa, and they'd be like, oh, and they wouldn't talk to me because I was the new girl. And some kids even bullied me because my teeth apparently looked like buck teeth, and they'd be like, oh my god, look at your teeth, and they would all bully me for having really big buck teeth because I looked like SpongeBob, sadly. And it really hurt my feelings. Eventually, a couple days into school, we had a cafeteria, and I always wondered how people got chicken nuggets and all the nice hot food in the cafeteria because I didn't have a lunch account. And there were some popular girls sitting at a table, and I was just the dorky little me, and I asked them, how do you go get those chicken nuggets that you guys got? Because they had chicken nuggets. And of course, not knowing right, they told me this sneaky little trick, and they're all like, oh, well, if you want that, then you just go up there and grab them. And I totally believed them, so that's exactly what I ended up doing. And the popular girls set me up to get totally bullied. So I went up and I grabbed all the chicken nuggets that I wanted because I thought the chicken nuggets were 100% free, and I started walking away with them until all the lunch people and school staff started saying, what are you doing? Like, those chicken nuggets aren't free. And I got in trouble, and the whole school saw it happen too. All the kids started bullying me for this, and I was crying, and I didn't know how to get the chicken nuggets, and it was just a huge mess. I was so sad, and all the people started calling me Chicken Nugget Girl or Chicken Girl, and that's how everybody knew me. But then one day I saw another kid getting bullied by the same kids that bullied me, and she was crying, and I saw her all alone, and I said, hey, I'm Alyssa, do you want to be friends? They bullied me too. And surely enough, we became best friends right after that because we both didn't like those girls who were bullying everyone. And we even made more friends that were getting bullied by the same people, and we all formed an anti-bully group, and we all became really close. And then one day, I started playing sports. Softball, basketball, you name it. I was just playing every sport that I could. I loved playing softball, and I loved playing basketball, and I just really liked being a part of the team. Being a part of the team gave me a new opportunity to meet more people and succeed in sports and have a really fun time. And I really liked basketball, and everybody started cheering me on, and I became a really important player. I was also winning all sorts of first place trophies and medals, and I was starting to be a big talk. In 5th grade, people started knowing me as the really athletic, talented sport kid. Eventually, I wanted to stick to one sport, and I chose travel basketball. So I really focused on basketball a lot because I wanted to make the best team, and I was really confident that I was going to make that team. So anyways, I was so confident, like, I just thought that I was going to make that team, and I practiced so hard to make it. And then the last player is, I certainly thought it was going to be me, but it was not me. So I was really sad. But then I didn't give up. All off season, I practiced super hard, trying to make the top team again. And I worked my butt off to be the best basketball player that I could be. But that work didn't pay off because I didn't make the team again. There was too many politics in the basketball league, so I decided to just give it a break, and I was going to go try to find some new things, even though I was sad because I really wanted to make the team. So during 6th and part of 5th grade, I didn't do any more sports for a little bit to search and see what my other talents were, even though I didn't know if I had any other ones. But one day I came across this amazing thing that we all call the internet, and I really, really liked it. The first thing I started doing on the internet was playing this really cool game called Webkinz. It was my favorite when I was a kid, and that eventually turned into me making a YouTube channel for the game Webkinz, where I posted little videos of my stuffed animals and all that good stuff. And my first YouTube channel was called Alyssa B198, which stands for Alyssa Basketball and the Year I Was Born. Eventually, I grew out of Webkinz and I started doing more artwork. I started doing digital art, and I was a furry. My first furry's name was Twilight, and I started animating her and made a whole YouTube channel, and I became a total digital art freak. My YouTube channel that I made for that was called Twilight Clover 98, which is the same channel that I use right now. During this time, I made so much more art, and I made tons of new friends. My mom supported my artwork and everything, but one day she got kind of mad because I've been on the internet too much, and she told me that I need to get outside more, and it was unhealthy to be on the internet all day, and I needed to do something else. So she enrolled me into tennis, and I was not happy at all. I thought it was super boring. I did not want to be there. I was all done with sports at that time, and I just wanted to be lazy and go on the internet all day. But my mom made me play anyways because I needed to stay healthy and fit. Eventually, I actually really started to love tennis, and I got super excited to play, and I was always on the court. And then one day my parents told me that if I make varsity my 7th grade year, they would buy me a puppy. So I was out on the court every day practicing super hard, and I actually made varsity on my 7th grade year. I was so happy and proud of myself. And I got to go to 4 Paws and a Tail and pick out my very own puppy, and I was so excited. I chose a Bocce, which is a Boston Terrier Chihuahua mix, and I named her Trixie. Eventually, I really loved playing for my tennis team, and I loved tennis so much that my mom actually had a hard time getting me to leave the court sometimes, and she actually had to force me to come home because I loved it that much. My life was going really good, but then one day my parents told me something crazy. They were moving. I was really sad, but I wanted my family to be happy, so I agreed to move back to California from Minnesota. When I first got to California, I was really sad because it was summertime, and shortly enough I realized I had no friends to hang out with, and I really didn't want to spend that summer all alone, and it was really depressing. Then the first day of high school actually hit me, and I was really kind of scared, but I tried to be cool and make friends. And I also had high school tennis tryouts, which I was really excited for. On the first day of tryouts, I introduced myself to everybody on the team, but they did not expect a new player that was actually decent to be coming onto the team. We played these things called challenge matches, and I ended up beating everybody out as the new girl. This made some of the other players really mad, and they ended up gossiping about me, saying that I cheated against them, and started making rumors about me. I was really upset because all these rumors and lies that people were making about me weren't even true. I played fair and square, and I just wanted to support a team and help them win. Unfortunately, these girls never got any better, and they ended up bullying me, and they still continue to, but I didn't let it affect me. Eventually, I became friends with a group of girls who were all new to the school, and I went up to a girl who I had in one of my classes and asked if I could sit with her because I saw she was alone, finding out that she was a military transfer, and so were the other girls sitting by us, and we all became the new kids, and we were all magically friends. We ended up seeing a few other girls who were sitting alone, so we asked them to join us, and they were new too. So we were the new kids of the school, and we were so swag. We had our own little group, and we were all new. Actually, it was the last day of freshman year, and I knew that my friends were all mostly moving because they were transfer students and they were from the military, so I had to say goodbye to all of them. I knew I was going to miss them a lot, and during the summer I had no friends to hang out with because they all moved, and it was so depressing. So during the summer I became really hooked to YouTube, and I was watching tons of YouTube videos and tons of YouTubers, and that gave me an idea. I decided that I wanted to try making my own YouTube videos, so I set up a camera and started doing my own videos. In fact, I enjoyed it so much that I started posting weekly YouTube videos, and it was like my new hobby. Eventually, summer ended and I had to go back to school, so I decided to be homeschooled, and I actually really enjoyed it because I got to be on the internet more. And my homeschooling even allowed me to join a new tennis team where I was actually accepted, and I got to play for an amazing group of girls. I had YouTube, I had tennis, I had Trixie, and I had art. And now, 1 year later, I still had everything that I had back then, plus 3,000 best friends. And that's you. Thanks for supporting me. I'm only 16 right now, but who knows what the future holds, and thank you so much for being there to support me and my channel. And I know life gets tough, it's not always easy, but if you stay strong, it will pay off in the long run. And guys, who knows where your life will take you? My life is taking me on an amazing journey, and I'm still excited for what's yet to come. Thank you so much for watching my Draw My Life video, and this is the end.